Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Namrata here. Hope everything is good and you are having a wonderful day. So in this video, I thought to share with you a few quick tips on how to make your base makeup look flawless. And I think that's the most challenging part, to make your face looking very natural even when you are wearing makeup, and that to full coverage makeup. So I thought I should share with you some techniques which I've learned with my few years of experience in makeup. And yeah, what worked for me that might not work for you. It's actually same for any aspects of makeup. It's very subjective. I can't really quote anything that it's perfect, this is what you should do. Never ever do that. Even if you are following someone religiously and if you love someone's makeup, just do follow the steps he or she is following, but only do those things which you know you should do according to your skin type, according to your skin concerns. Everything depends when you are doing your base makeup. So at first I'm going to start with priming, but again I'm going to tell you it depends on your skin type. If you have very oily skin, I'd say always go for something which is gel based or very light like serum like primer. And if you have very dry skin, always go with very deep cream or moisturizing primer. And if you have open pores, like I have little bit of open pores here, so I always go for a very light serum at first to moisturize my face, and after that serum I always use little bit of pore filling primer only in this section where I have open pores. So at first I'm gonna start with the serum. So lately I'm loving this Wet n Wild primer serum, although it's meant for dry to normal skin, but I tried and found it very good for my skin type. I'm normal to combination skin type nowadays, so I'm gonna apply it all over my face. And what I love about this primer is it doesn't feel oily at all. It's just like a very absorbing serum which just hydrates the skin. And next I'm gonna apply my favorite pore filling primer, that is the Smashbox Photo Finish primer, and I'll be taking just a bit of it, like just a drop like this, and now just pressing it in. It's good. And now I'm gonna move forward with the next step, that is again very optional. It's color correcting, and today I'm going to use this MAC color correcting palette. You can use any palette. And now let me talk about few shades like orange, peach, green, red. There are a lot more correcting shades out there, and now let me tell you how should we pick the correct shade. So for our Asian skin color, what I normally use is orange, peach, red and green sometimes. So the more darker you are, you have to pick the more reddish color to hide any kind of dark circle, and the more fairer you are, the color would be orange, peach or even lighter. So you have to think, or you have to pick your color that way. Like for my skin color, I'm a very medium neutral undertone skin color I have. So for me, I can use these two color mixed, like this one and little bit of this color. I'll mix these two and I'll use to correct my under eye. But if you have a red blemish on your skin, then this red or peach or this color tone won't help to hide that thing. So you have to use the exact opposite color, that is green. So you can pick any green color corrector to hide any ongoing pimple. I hope I make sense. Any pimple, you know. So now let's start applying these two colors. So at first I have to mix these two shades. And whenever you are applying any cream based product, always feel free to use your fingertips. It really helps to melt the product with your, body warmth. Like I have very minimal dark circle, but this will actually help to cover it up. Okay, even around my mouth I have little pigmentation, so I applied the same shade. And at first I'm going to show you in this side, that way you'll see how big of a difference it makes if you do it in the right way. Now I have to blend it out. So for blending I'm using this Wet Beauty blender, and I hope you can see how I'm blending it, just bouncing the Wet Beauty blender on my face. You can see it almost covered up all the thing I had very minimal pigmentation all over my face, but in this side it's already looking very even. And now I'll be using a foundation. For that I picked this full coverage foundation today. This is the Maybelline Super Stay Full Coverage Foundation. I hope so many of you already tried this. It's one of my favorite from drugstore. So I'm gonna use the shade called Golden Caramel. So at first I'm gonna apply in this side. That's it. And now I'm gonna blend the foundation, but there is a thing, I'm not gonna use the Wet Beauty blender first. So there will be a foundation brush which I'm gonna use now to spread the foundation all over my skin evenly, so that way the coverage will still be on your skin. That's what you need, the coverage. And for final blending I'll be back with the Wet Beauty blender to blend it evenly. And if you're the one who sweats a lot or have very oily skin, you can do one thing. You can spray a little bit of makeup setting spray before you start blending, like little bit, not much. And even if you have like dry skin, you can pick any glowy or dewy makeup setting spray and then start blending. And I hope you can see I'm not putting much product in the under eye area, because I know later on I'll be putting concealer, and if I pile up product in the under eye area, it will start creasing and you'll see the lines even more. So always go with very less. And now I'm gonna finally blend this with the Wet Beauty blender. And again, you can see my technique is still same. When you are blending anything with Wet Beauty blender, always do this step. I think it will just press the product in and set it very nicely. It's good. And next what I'll be doing is concealer. No, I'm gonna set this foundation with a compact powder or any kind of pressed powder like this one. So I'm using the same Super Stay Full Coverage Compact Powder by Maybelline. If you have very dry skin, you can skip this step. You can go straight with the concealer. And just notice I'm not putting this powder in the under eye area, because I already put the corrector, so that really helped with the pigment primarily. And for final coverage I'm going to put a concealer and then I'll set it with the powder. And now here comes the concealer. For this I'm using my all-time favorite Huda Beauty. I think you know it already. If you're here for a long time, then you know how obsessed I am with this concealer. So this one has very full coverage, so I'll be putting very less amount of product, but it depends on your concealer, the formula, like how highly pigmented is that. But this one, the little bit goes a long way. And for blending, again I'm going to use a brush first. I'm going to use this kind of fluffy concealer brush to blend it first. That way the coverage will still remain. That's it. Now you can see it's looking very even. And now for the final blending, yes, Wet Beauty blender. You can't really skip this step, because the finishing the blender brings, no brush can help with that. So this side is looking so even. I'm so proud of this base makeup. Anyway, I hope you can see the difference. Although I don't have much of pigment, but still it's looking way even. I'm so in love with this base. But now you may think that why am I not applying any concealer on my nose, around my mouth, because I don't need it. Like on my nose, I need to use any lighter concealer for that, but I don't want to bake my face with lots of base makeup. And now I'm gonna set it with a powder. So at first all you need to do is mattify your base makeup. That's why I'm applying this setting powder again and again. If you apply this kind of baking powder directly on concealed area, then it will look so cakey. So at first always make sure you mattify the face first and then do the baking. And again, baking is not for everyone, especially if you have very normal to dry skin. You don't have to do baking. Especially for dry skin, you can remove this step from your head. You don't need it at all. But for oily skin girls, you really should do it, especially if you sweat a lot and if your face produce lots of oil, then you can do baking. It will actually absorb those things for a while and it will make your base makeup long lasting and it will look matte to some extent. And now we are going to talk about contouring or bronzing, which actually helps to add little warmth to our face, and that creates the illusion of a skinnier face or snatched facial structure. So again, this contouring process should differ face to face because of different facial structure, where I have very oval face, and the general thing is we add this kind of warm shade under the bone, which you can feel here. You can put little warm shade below this cheekbone, and that will create a very nice depth. So I'm not going to use any cream product today. I'm going to use only this bronzer. You can see how much I already used it. This is one of my favorite and the most affordable one. So this is the Wet n Wild contour palette. So I'm using this kind of angle brush. Tapping of the excess is important. Always follow the edge of the bone, like here. And I put the shade until this section. I don't go any above. Although you can see a lot of information on contouring that always draw a 3 in the side of your face, but you can see my hairline, it's very close to my eyebrow. So if I put a dark shade here, it will almost remove the space here. So I don't do here. I always go up till this section, and again little bit here. And for contouring my nose, most of the time I use the same brush, but technically we should be more correct, that is using this kind of very small angle brush. So I'm gonna use the same bronzer. And nose contouring is whole another section. I'll do another video on nose contouring. And what I'm doing is just putting this deeper shade in the sides. That way it will create that illusion of a sharp nose, which I don't have naturally. And to blend the edge, I'm going to use a little bit of this shade. And now here comes the blush, the easiest thing, yet you have to be mindful where you are putting it and how much you are putting it. So today I'm going to use this Milani Baked Blush. This is in the shade Dolce Pink, and I think any kind of pinkish coral or peachy coral really flatters our skin tone, or any Indian skin tone. So I'm going to use this kind of fluffy blush brush. You can pick good amount of product and then do a tap or dab on your skin, and the rest you can put on your cheek. And the best way to do it, always smile and pick the highest section and put it. And this blush has very nice sheen to it, which looks so healthy. And now I'm going to go with the highlighter. And again, if you need very natural looking base, never go very heavy handed with the highlighter. So today I'm going to be using this Makeup Revolution Triple Baked Bronzer Highlighter. So this is how it looks. It's a Dupe Pop Too Faced highlighter. So I'll be mixing up all 3 shades and I'll put it on all the high points. I think everyone knows where to put highlighter. I mean, everyone loves to put highlighter, including me. Sometimes I go very crazy with highlighter, but that's not good. So mostly I'm mixing up these 2 shades because it would be very dark for my skin. And after you place the highlighter with the brush, always dab it with finger, or you can also use the Wet Beauty blender. And for the inner corner, you always need a smaller brush. And next, one thing which I'm going to do now, that is I'll be taking a little bit of this highlighter powder and I'll put it in the middle, like here, below the contour line. And now I'm going to set it for 1 to 2 minutes. So in the meantime, normally what I do is lips or eyes, the lashes stuff. So today I'm going to wait for 2 minutes and then I'll be back. Okay, now it's been 2-3 minutes. So I'm going to use this fluffy brush one more time to brush it off. and you can see it made the contouring more prominent. And now the base makeup is done in this side, and to set this makeup I'm going to use this setting spray one more time. So this is the Morphe Continuous Mist setting spray. You can use anything which you have, and at the end you can use this flat end to press this setting mist in. This was it for today's video. I hope it was helpful. Then please don't forget to hit the like button, and please subscribe if you haven't yet. And also let me know if you have any other request on any specific area of makeup like eyes. I already made one video like eyeshadow do's and don'ts. I'll be putting the link in the description box below. You can check that video as well. And if you have any other request, please let me know. I'll make that video very soon, and I'll be back with the next one. Till then, bye bye, take care.